We are going to start. You know, this is a great class. Where's Jeff Saturday? Where's Jeff sitting? There he is. You know, last year I was clean shaven when I came up here, but I'm sporting a little bit of a stubble tonight, and I figured it's Jeff Saturday, one of our inductees tonight, could pull it off on ESPN. I could do it tonight. By the way, Jeff Saturday is one of the great stories of these 40. I mean, do you realize that Jeff 2 years ago was the head coach of a private school up the road? 2 years later, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and today you can't miss him on ESPN. So we're going to have a lot of stories like that tonight. But before we move on, I would like us all to stand and welcome the color guard from Benjamin Mays High School, who will present the colors and the national anthem. All right, everybody can be seated. I want to thank the color guard of Mays High School, made up of Jeremiah Smith, Alexia Thompson, Julia Todd, Darren Hendricks, Morgan Kilpatrick, and their instructor, Sergeant Major Tucker. Now I would like to call to the stage one of our inductees from the first class, Takeo Spikes. If Takeo can come on up. So last year, Takeo couldn't make it to the Hall of Fame. He was doing the SEC Network. But he felt it was very important to send a message. And actually, if you were here last year, his message came through to a lot of people. And we're going to replay it tonight for Takeo because it was pretty wild in here when he was on the big screen. He was on live TV while we were doing it.
I'm going to say the same thing, underutilized, underappreciated. It's not just Kayshawn Booty. Jeray Jenkins, Neighbors, Brian Thomas, a great catch. He can make a great catch and a big catch here and there. All right, we want to stop for just a minute here because we got something incredibly cool. Our friend right here, Takeo Spikes, is part of the first ever class of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. First class.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you. You're being inducted, what, Saturday will be induction day, but you're going to be with us.
He skipped that to be here with us.
Which is amazing. They've said something for you, and our friend Stewie is going to bring it to you.
Oh my goodness!
You want to hear? Let me unbutton this here, and you can go slap it on him there real quick.
Look at the greatness right here.
Look at this. Look at this Hall of Fame jacket.
Guys, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Can you take that off for me, please, sir?
So the ceremony again is Saturday, but he's working with us. He's not taking a day off of work. They gave him the jacket, and we're putting it on him right now. But we've got some
Is there IP issues we gotta deal with?
there. Oh goodness, that fits like a glove, my man. That actually goes great with the suit. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
That is awesome.
And I really didn't know. I didn't think the jacket was gonna be here. I felt bad because I couldn't make it, but I couldn't miss out on the opportunity to work with you guys. But it means a lot. And I think ultimately, you look at the amount of guys who are going in the inaugural class. Hines Ward, Shannon Sharp, Mel Blunt, Fran Tarkenton, Champ Bailey. Like, these are all homegrown guys. Also, David Pollard, one of our colleagues. Stench. Stench, shout out to Stench, Garrison Hurst. So, you know, man, it's really a big honor. And my mom told me that, you know, anytime somebody shows you appreciation, you gotta take time to acknowledge it, and that's what I'm doing, man. So all of the times that I truly thought in high school, you know what, why am I just going home after school? Why am I not doing what everybody else is doing?
Yeah.
This is a true testament to what commitment looks like.
Gold jacket's next for my man.
Hey, you're on the ballot, man. If we had votes, you're on, man. You're in our Hall of Fame already, so make no mistake. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. And thank you, Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, for getting a jacket here. All right, so we're gonna say the same.
And I just wanted to call Takeo on because we appreciate the message. I've been fortunate to know him and his agent for a very long time, and I'm a big fan of his, and we're all, you know, just happy that you're here. Now I'd like to welcome GHSA Executive Director, Dr. Robin Hines, who has been so important in the building of this Hall of Fame.
Thank you for that, IJ. Anyway, I just want to welcome everyone here and tell you what an honor that it is for the GHSA to be a part of this. You know, I'm going to go back to some things that I said last year, the February prior to the first induction, when IJ first brought this to me and had this idea, I was shocked that we didn't have it. We didn't have a Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame prior to that. And you know, what a shame that was, because you look at who we've got and who we're coming in, and I'm going to say this, the best high school football in these United States is played right here in Georgia. And I can prove it. And there's just a few numbers, I may be off just a little bit, but you know, I want to say that Georgia, there were 31 Georgia kids that went in the draft last year. Okay, right? There were 32 Texas kids where that's supposed to be where the mother lode is, right? They've got about 20 million more people than we have in Georgia, and we're right there. And they acknowledge that. Charles Bryant, who has my job in Texas, is the one that actually brought that up to me. And why is that the case? It's because Georgia has the best coaches anyway. But the thing about it is when I get here and I look at what is sitting here, this class and all that, it's always been the case. I mean, you guys are something else. I mean, they're my classmates, people I've competed against, family, friends, and all that are sitting here, you know, going to be honored tonight. But what I see beyond that is I know a lot of the guys that coached you guys too. So it's been like that for a long time in the state of Georgia. You know, because it's like the SE says, it just means more. It means more in Georgia. And I can tell you, because as the executive director of the Georgia High School Association, I promise you people are passionate about their kids and they're passionate about their sports, because I hear it every single day. And one thing that I do want to do once again, for IJ, I want to thank IJ once again for his vision and his ability to put all this thing together. I mean, IJ, what a world-class event that you put together for these guys and these families and all that. Would you join me in thanking IJ for all he's done to make this happen? I also want to thank the board. Now, you look at these people that are being inducted and the people that were inducted last year, it is really difficult because there's a whole lot more good ones in the queue. And we're going to be doing this for a long time, but the time spent to find out who it is that we're going in there, and all you guys, I appreciate your work, because I know it takes me a long time to go through that to get it going, and they did. And finally, I want to thank our inductees. You guys are the best. You're special. You have been for a long, long time. And I'm going to take a personal point of pride. Now I've got my teammate, Guy McIntyre, sitting right there, who I saw for the first time in the first grade. And that sort of thing. We are all so proud of you, Guy, and we're proud of each of you. And thank you all for coming. This is going to be a wonderful evening, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Hines. If Dave Hunter, Dr. Hines, Randy, if Randy Beal could come up real quick, Rusty Mansell, if you could come up, Todd Holcomb, Dave Hunter, Roddy White, Rusty Mansell, Randy Beal, and Todd Holcomb. I just want to say this, and I'm going to wait for Randy and Todd to come up. There's no way that we could do this thing without some great leadership. And just real quickly, you know, from Dr. Hines, whose support from the GHSA has been instrumental, Rusty Mansell, who's sort of been my partner in different things, and in my opinion, should be doing games on Saturday in the afternoon, to Dave Hunter, who's like my best friend, my older brother, who's taught me a lot of football, but taught me more about life. To Randy Beal, who has helped us support this financially, and Randy's become just a huge friend of my family. To Todd Holcomb, Todd and I go way, way back to our Atlanta Journal-Constitution days. And a lot of people don't understand that this thing is happening today because of Todd Holcomb. And if you get a chance to look up the Georgia Historian site, what he has done with help from a couple of our board people like Becky is amazing. It really is amazing. And he truly is our historian. And then when I need something on TV or web or to run an event like this, we got the best. This is Roddy White, the other Roddy White, because he did work with the Falcons too. So if y'all could come help, we've got they're not little, they're actually heavy, but we got something for you just to show our appreciation from the Hall of Fame. So we got boxes for these because they're pretty heavy, but the 7 of you guys, I just want to thank you so much for all the help that you've continued to give us. So if we could give everybody a big hand. Thanks, guys. I think we left. Who's going to leave down there? Oh, no, we got that one down. So thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Also have just a couple more quick presentations. Raymond, Todd, did you see Raymond Tweet Williams? Raymond, are you here? Coach Williams? If he could, Coach, could you come on out? Just one little bit, and that's the way it's gonna be. He's 97, guys. And the world's alright with me. Just one look at you. So Raymond, we think, is the oldest living head coach that has a state championship in the state of Georgia. But I think more importantly, and they call him Tweet, Coach Tweet, he was also the head coach of the last champion for the GIA, which was the Georgia Interscholastic Association, an African American conference that existed in Georgia for more than 3 decades. He won that championship, now we're in the year 2023, in 1954 with the class AA Turner Wolves. And I know everybody wants to stand and give Tweet a big hand.
That's amazing.
This is quite a surprise. I didn't think that this was going to happen here tonight. And I want to let you know that I appreciate this honor. I've been around here a long time. I just turned 97 years old back here in June. I also had the opportunity to work with a lot of youngsters in my lifetime. And I could see that these guys who are going into the Hall of Fame for the state of Georgia ought to be proud, because I think that we have the best coaching staff and players anywhere in this country. It's right here in Georgia. And I've been a part of this thing for 75 years. So tonight is a climax for me to stand before you and receive this honor. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. I'd also like to do a special shout out to another coach, if he could stand up. It's Coach JB, they call him Jocko Rowland. Coach, could you show up, stand up? Right, I think right over here. There he is. If you could stand up. John played quarterback at Miller County High School and coached with Wright Bazemore at Valdosta and several other high schools. Jocko, thank you so much for coming tonight at the age of 92, and we really appreciate what you did for high school in the state. We also have 2 schools here tonight that are supporting Hall of Famers. We have Sumter County, who used to be America's high school, and they are here for Dan Reeves and Matt Morales. And we got a big group from Cartersville High School, who's having a heck of a season, and they're here for Keith Henderson and Ronnie Brown. Thank you, Americans. Thank you, Cartersville.
Did he catch that with one hand? Yes, he did. Behind his back. That ball was thrown behind him and he just snatched it, didn't even bother to bring it into his body, and then extended it. Tigers down by 6. Down in the backfield with Newton. Dan takes the snap. Looking to kick. No receiver. He's got Lutz Kirkin. Touchdown! Lutz Kirkin, he threw it back across the field. 7-yard play. Touchdown Tigers. We're tied at 27. What a play call right there. A little half roll to the wide side and boom.
That type of personality just it's infectious and it radiated throughout this community. And the fact that he was also a successful football player just gave him that much higher of a pedestal in which to display those qualities and leave a mark here that I think will last forever.
I'd much rather be known for what I've done off the field and impacting other people's lives and how many touchdowns or how many catches I've had.
Now I'd like to introduce Mike Lutchen-Kirchen, the Executive Director of the Lutzy 43 Foundation, and they're also one of the founding sponsors of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Good evening. First of all, the inductees, congratulations. An amazing career. Many of you went on to college, the NFL. To all your family and friends that are here, what a great night again to celebrate your accomplishments on the field. I woke up Wednesday, September 6th. If you're on your calendar, that was Wednesday after Labor Day. And the lead article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that day was the deadliest Memorial Labor Day since 2015. We had 21 people killed on our roads here in Georgia. They didn't call it accidents, they called them crashes. Phillip went on to play from Lassiter High School to Auburn University. He was a key member of their 2010 National Championship team as a sophomore. Went on to become a 2-time captain, 3-time All-SEC academic performer. Had a short career at the St. Louis Rams. In the weekend of June 27, 2014, he and 12 friends made critical mistakes that day that involved drinking, going out well after midnight at 2:30 in the morning. They were all drunk. 3 of the 4 kids that weren't wearing a seatbelt, all were ejected either fully or partially from the vehicle. My son in the back seat was found 15 feet from that vehicle. He lost his life at age 23. What do you do with that? You lean into your faith. You try to see that nobody else goes through that. So we've created what we call the Lutzy 43 Foundation. Phil Moore 43, Auburn. The Auburn fan base, that family called him Lutzy. Great to see you. Ronnie, congratulations. But we're trying to change what's going on our roadways. Georgia is the 4th leading state in the United States on the number of fatalities per miles driven. So we're out to change the game. When you came in and sat down next to that beautiful program and that one-pager, you found a packet. I hope that packet makes it home with you tonight and not on that floor. In that packet, you'll find a lanyard. I probably should open this up before I came up here. And on that lanyard is a key. It says 43 key seconds on it. One of our partners is the Georgia Department of Transportation. And then you have what we call a checklist card. In the United States, we do not have a symbol image or a symbol that we look at, a single one, I'm sorry, that would trigger you to be a smarter and safer driver. On the way down from Marietta today, I was almost hit twice by people that were texting and driving. What we want you to do is take this and have a conversation when you leave tonight. Figure out what 43 key seconds is. It's a safe program for you to say, do I have a clear head, clear hands, clear eyes, and to click it. We're hoping that these kids at Cartersville High School and the high schools that are represented here, they'll have conversations with one another, and this will build courage for you to challenge each other when poor decisions are to be made behind the wheel of the vehicle. We believe if we do this right, and this is a wonderful event to help us do that, that 43 key seconds can become the national limit that when we all look at it, triggers us to be safer and smarter drivers. But behind me, I hope you'll take your phones out and hit that QR code. We're very proud, since we lost Philip 9 years ago, that we've given out 93 $4,300 scholarships. Eligibility is juniors and seniors in high school, undergraduate students and graduate students at any 2-year, 4-year college in this country. We've got a pretty rigorous process you have to go through, but that will tell you more about this. Through IJ, we are the cause of the foundation. We are promoting this to the high schools. I hope the administrators here will take this back to your schools. We're doing a lot of things on high school campuses, but it doesn't stop with high school kids. I want all of you to ask yourself, if I was behind the wheel of a vehicle this week, was I texting and driving? Was I looking at an email? Did I not make sure everybody was wearing their seatbelt? Did I maybe get behind the wheel when I had too many cocktails? We all need to do better. Again, they don't call them accidents, they're crashes, they're all avoidable. So we're thrilled to be a part of this evening. It's a celebration. My wife and I are celebrating my son's life. To do something for all of you so that you don't find yourself in our shoes. God bless all of you.
Thanks, Mike, and I'm announcing right now that we will be doing a scholarship program with Mike and his board and the Leslie Foundation starting next year at our Hall of Fame. Real quickly, I've got just 2 more things before we're going to start. Excuse me one second, just going to turn the page. A little famished after that Alabama win today. Mike, if you could come on up. Mike, Mike, I should have just left you up here. Steve Langley, if Steve's here, and Randy, if Randy could come back up. Steve and Randy. As I mentioned with the 7 people that were up on the stage earlier, you need a lot of smart people, and you need a lot of volunteers, and you need a lot of people that are going to work hard. At the same time, it takes money to do this. And we've got some great sponsors, and we've got just a little take-home for you. Of course, Randy is with GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Another one is IDEW, that's Kenny Mullins. Kenny couldn't make it tonight. The Arthur Blank Foundation, Steve Langley right here, and Smart 85, who not only sponsors this, but Steve's involved in everything high school, and also the Arthur Blank Foundation. So I just want to present these to y'all. The Falcons are out of town this weekend, so they could not make it, but just want to thank all 3 of y'all for just really getting behind this. Thank you, guys. Bill Hartman's been playing too much golf lately. So real quickly before I'm going to turn it over, if Champ Bailey could come on up. Champ, of course, an NFL Hall of Famer, and I'm proud to say a Georgia High School Football Hall of Famer. And he's become a good friend to the Hall, and he's gonna get us going.
Love that song, thank you. All right, so first off, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak, IJ. I appreciate that. And thanks to all the sponsors, all the staff, everybody that makes this thing come to life, the board, anybody who bought a ticket tonight, you're not overlooked. We appreciate it. So first I want to say congrats to the 2023 inductees. I want to acknowledge a few guys while I have a chance. I heard there's like 20-something Bulldogs going in this year, so no surprise there. No surprise. But, you know, as I look along the list, there's a lot of guys I admire, a lot of guys I played against, I played with. Two guys in particular that stick out, Mike Bobo, Quincy Carter. I mean, okay, so people don't know, I caught passes from both of those guys, so I'm the luckiest man in the room. So also, Charles Grant, one of the best high school players I've ever seen, ever. Wish I could have played a lot more with him. Jarvis Jones, man, a beast. Wish I could have played with you. Charles Johnson, Chuck, man, my guy. Wish I could have played with you. Now, all these boys are dogs. Now, there's a lot of other college players, some Tennessee Volunteers. We talked about them earlier. A couple I want to point out, guys I helped recruit, but never came to Georgia. Unfortunately, Deion Grant, Jamal Lewis. Yeah, two guys I admire from afar. But I appreciate you guys. First off, let me tell y'all, I was so honored to get the call to be in the inaugural class. You know, I played 15 years in the NFL. I played 3 years at Georgia. But everywhere I stopped along the way, throughout my playing career, I would always let everybody know I'm from Georgia, and that's where I played football. So they knew what that meant everywhere I went. You know, I tell people that proudly because, you know, we are the standard, right? You heard them say it. This is the greatest state in the country to play football. Now, while we're here, I see a lot of kids in the back. I'm only going to encourage you now, while you're in this room, there's a lot of greatness in here. Please have a small conversation with at least one Hall of Famer or somebody you know, somebody you looked up to. Just have one conversation with them. It'll change your life. I didn't have those opportunities where I grew up. Guys, you have the opportunities right in front of you. Please take advantage of it. So, enough of me, guys. Let's get to it. So, let's begin this ceremony with big Atlanta TV personality, Bill Hartland, who will be announcing the inductees, and he'll be starting with a guy from Gainesville who called Gainesville his home and was also a household name back in the 1950s. Take it away, Bill.
Our first inductee tonight is Billy Lockridge from Gainesville High School. Adam Lindsay, the athletic director, will be accepting the awards for Billy. Billy was a phenomenal talent when he played quarterback for Gainesville, led the Red Elephants to the semifinals in 1959 for the first time in 7 years. He was an all-state player. He went to Georgia Tech, was the starting quarterback for the Yellow Jackets' final 3 seasons in the Southeastern Conference. He was the Heisman Trophy runner-up to Roger Staubach. Also, 2-time All-SEC selection and an All-American. He was also a kicker for the Jackets, selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 1964 draft. Became an outstanding punter and safety. Lockridge won the punting title in 1967 in the National Football League and when he was an All-Pro. He had a 9-year career in the NFL before retiring in 1973. He was inducted into the Georgia Tech Hall of Fame, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, the Georgia Tech All-Time Team in 1991, survived by his 2 daughters, Leah and Laurie, and his sister, Beverly. Adam Lindsay accepted the award for Billy Lockridge.
Next up this evening is a gentleman from Brooks County High School, Marcus Stroud. Marcus was a standout defensive lineman for Brooks County's 1994 Class A championship team as a junior. Became an AJC Super 11 pick during his senior year as a junior.
Registered 75 tackles, 13 sacks. Followed that with 76 and 8 as a senior, named All-State teams both seasons, no surprise. At 6'6", 266, and he is still every inch and pound of that today. Stroud was a blue chip prospect, appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated ahead of National Signing Day in 1996, and how many of you remember that cover? Yeah. Where he was wearing a shirt for the school in North Florida. Yeah. He ripped it off and showed that he was going to the University of Georgia for his collegiate career, making him an instant legend in Athens. In Athens, a 3-year starter, helped rebuild the program under Jim Donnan. All-SEC defensive tackle 2000. Finished his career with 142 career tackles. There's going to be a lot of math here because there was a lot that he did. 10.5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. Entered the draft 2001. The Jacksonville Jaguars took him 13th overall. Defensive tackle at 3 spins on the dial at 300 pounds. Played 10 seasons, 9 as a starter, 7 with the Jags, 3 with the Buffalo Bills. Finished with 62 TFL, 29.5 sacks in his career, 3 consecutive Pro Bowls, 03 and 05. Welcome Marcus Stroud to the Hall of Fame. I was not kidding. My question for you, how did your time in Quitman and Brooks County High School, and I know that Maurice Freeman's here tonight, how did that shape you and the man that you are today?
It helped me a lot. Coach Freeman did a great job helping molding us 45 players in a bad mood, so he taught us a work ethic for a long time ago, and it stuck with me all throughout. So appreciate Coach Freeman.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Humbled and honored to be asked to do this again for the 2nd straight year, because I look out here and I still see a bunch of dogs and a bunch of dudes. Now, a little bit grayer, some of you, than you used to be, but aren't we all? You're still dogs and dudes, man. You guys were our heroes growing up, coming up through high school and even beyond. So it's a privilege to be up here tonight to introduce you guys. Jamal Lewis helped put the Doug on the state map. So that's Douglas Astros, but you don't know that. Rushed for a school record 4,879 yards, 68 touchdowns in his career. Jamal rushed for over 1,900 yards as a junior in 1995, over 1,700 yards as a senior in 1996. He led the Astros to the quarterfinals in the state's highest classification for Douglas's best season in 17 years. Jamal was the MVP of the Florida-Georgia All-Star Game, rushed for 137 and 2 touchdowns. He went on to play at Tennessee, for which he has still not been forgiven, but finished his college career with 2,677 rushing yards, which still ranks 5th in school history despite playing only 3 seasons because of a knee injury. Jamal was the 5th pick overall in the 2000 NFL Draft by Baltimore and rushed for 1,364 yards as a rookie, leading the Ravens to one of the big beatdowns in Super Bowl history, 34-7 over the Giants in Super Bowl 35. He had 102 on the ground in that championship victory. In 2007, he set the NFL single-game rushing record, went for 296 in a single game, and retired in 2010 with 10,507 career rushing yards, the most for a former Georgia high school player in NFL history. Everybody, welcome Jamal Lewis to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Jamal Lewis, why did you go to Tennessee when Athens was right up the road?
Well, I think Georgia had a hard time recruiting, and Tennessee just put in a little more work on it. So that was about it. But I always wanted to be a Georgia Bulldog, but
There you get the story here. In 2023, the truth finally comes out. All right, seriously. As you reflect on your career with the Douglas Astros, one of the great schools in the city of Atlanta, great history and tradition, what do you remember most about your high school football career?
just the team and just Michael Sims, who was our head coach, who wanted to sweep the DeKalb County school system. So I think that one of the most memorable times was beating Southwest DeKalb, which was my first and our only win against Southwest DeKalb and Quincy Carter over there.
They used to run the state, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But that was probably one of the most memorable moments in high school football.
That would have been a memorable game. Southwest DeKalb and Douglas, could you just imagine? Jamal Lewis, newest member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Adams, and one of my favorite things about high school football in Georgia is the success that our athletes go on to. Sometimes that's in football, sometimes that's in other endeavors of athletics, and sometimes that's in other fields altogether. An example of that is our next inductee tonight, Al Pinkins from Mitchell Baker High School.
Good evening, Al Pinkins. Good evening, Al Pinkins here. First,
we'll get a chance to hear from Al in a minute. You'll see, what Al has gone on to since his football career has come to an end. He was a legendary multi-sport athlete while being at Mitchell Baker and was the first player in Georgia high school football history to pass for more than 3,000 yards in 1989 when he led the Eagles to a AA state championship there as a junior. He was also a first-team All-AJC, All-State in both 1989 and in 1990. He was a preseason AJC Super 11 pick in 1990 there as well. 6 feet 6 inches tall, terrific basketball player, wonderful baseball player there as well. Averaging 17.5 points playing basketball, 8 rebounds while going to Chipola Junior College. Then finished his career at NC State, and he also played professional basketball in Spain and in China, and he's been an assistant basketball coach across much of the SEC and throughout a lot of college basketball, currently at Ole Miss, where he joins us here to share a video. He is honored about being inducted into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Al Pinkins from Mitchell Baker.
good evening, Al Pinkins here. First of all, I want to thank the Georgia High School Hall of Fame Committee for inducting me into the 2023 Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. I would also like to thank my high school coaches. To achieve an award like this, you have to have really good coaching, and I had an elite group of coaches that pushed us every single day and every single night. Also, to achieve an award like this, you have to have great teammates. I had an elite group of teammates who fought on the gridiron every day and every night. We all pushed each other to be great. Also, fan base. You have to have a really good fan base, I think, to be like really elite. And we had an elite fan base. Whether we were on the road or at home, our fans travel. So I also would like to thank our fans as well. I would also like to thank my family. For you to be an elite athlete and achieve an award like this, you have to have family support, and my family supported me, whether it was road games or home games. They were there to support me. Also, I want to say thanks to Coach Parker. Coach Eric Parker is accepting this award for me. I apologize, I couldn't be there. I'm an assistant coach at Ole Miss, and we're planning an exhibition scrimmage today against the University of Houston. I would be there if not for that. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the committee once again, and thank you to all the people that touched my life, that put me in this situation to be able to join the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Thank you, and have a good night.
As Al said, tonight, Coach Eric Parker, here, a former player of Mitchell Baker in his own right, is here to accept the honor for Al Binkins. Let's give Al Binkins another hand as Coach Parker comes
DJ Jones, and our fifth inductee this afternoon or this evening. Charles Johnson was a 5-sport athlete at Hawkinsville High School, where he started as a defensive end, a forward on the basketball team, a standout track and field athlete on the Red Devils relay teams, a letterman in tennis his senior year, and as a senior, Johnson led Hawkinsville to a perfect 15-0 finish and a Class A state title. He registered 16 sacks as a senior and had an 83-yard interception return for a touchdown in Hawkinsville's 18-8 victory over top-ranked Lincoln County in the finals. Johnson earned the 2003 GACA Class A South Player of the Year in addition to the 2003 Atlanta Journal-Constitution Class A Defensive Player of the Year, and was one of 4 defensive linemen that was named to the GHSF Daily All-Decade team for the 2009 season. He was number 21 rated, the number 121 rated prospect in the country when he signed to play at the University of Georgia. In college, he played in 35 total games with 13 starts and recorded 73 tackles, 14 and a half sacks, and 6 forced fumbles. Following his collegiate career, Johnson was selected in the 3rd round of the 2007 NFL Draft by the Carolina Panthers and spent all 11 years of his career with the team. Johnson finished his professional career playing in 143 games with 114 starts, racked up 323 tackles, 17 forced fumbles, and 67 and a half career sacks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Hawkinsville's High School Charles Johnson. Once again, congratulations, Charles. 5-sport athlete. We don't see that much today. But what would you tell the young kids today? The importance of utilizing every opportunity that you have, not only to better yourself as an athlete, but to develop yourself as a teammate and as a student.
I think every sport has something that you can take away from it. Being an athlete, I look at athletes as playing multiple sports. I don't just look at saying you're an athlete playing one sport. You're just as good at this one sport. Be an ACH, you got to play multiple sports, and you can take away something from each and every one of them. So play as much as you can, learn from as much as you can, and then try to use it to wherever you find your profession at growing up. You know, you're not gonna know until you get older. Young, play as many things you can, and then just wait till you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Charles Johnson to the Hall of Fame. Hello, I'm Willie Nelson. Who's in that building right over there. How about DJ Shot? A two-time first-team All-State quarterback for the North Clayton Eagles. He was a parade All-American in the year 2000. As a senior, he passed for 1,900 yards and 11 touchdowns, ran for almost 900 yards and another 8 touchdowns. The season before that, he passed for 17 touchdowns, ran for 733 yards and 9 touchdowns. Shockley was considered the consensus number 18 recruit nationally and the number 1 dual threat prospect in the class of 2001. He became a Georgia Bulldog. In Athens, Shockley was patient, started for the first time as a senior, passing for 2,600 yards and 24 touchdowns, leading the Bulldogs to the Southeastern Conference title in 2005. In his lone season as a full-time starter, he was named the Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Shockley, picked by the Falcons in the 2006 draft, spent 5 seasons with them. He's worked as a color commentator, studio analyst for college football broadcasts. He's covered the Atlanta Falcons on television, also high school football for the Georgia Public Broadcasting, and is currently the sports director at Fox 5 here in Atlanta. In your face, please welcome DJ Shockley.
It's like having a voice from neighborhoods in the studio trying to fight me. Just need to get Mr. American Pie and take her light out. That's my house. I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. Let her know her grandchild is a baby. It's not a paycheck. Private school, daycare, medical bills, I pay that. I love your mom and everything. See, I ain't the one who lay down. You want to rip me up, start a custody war. My lawyer, stay down. She never got the chance to hear my side of the story because the fighting. She had bitch fries and cookouts for your child's birthday. I didn't fight it. Just fight it. I show her the other when I called you. All you. You was looking that late when I saw you. It's Miss Jackson.
Congratulations, DJ. Again, my question to you is, what do you do when the teleprompter is not working?
Well, you gotta make up something on the spot. That's usually what I do. So.
What about high school football? What did it mean to you?
High school football was everything. Obviously, I think a lot of people know my dad was my head coach, and my mom wasn't really a fan of it at first because she knew it probably would come home and be some issues, but it actually worked out pretty good. And so I grew up. I learned a lot from my dad, learned a lot from high school, learned a lot from the guys I played around, and was able to take it on and do some pretty cool things.
Yeah, you did. DJ Shockley, ladies and gentlemen.
One of my best memories of DJ Shockley, we televised his high school basketball games. Remember that? reaction down. All right, I've known Rennie Curran since he was in the 10th grade. Rennie has had many incredible highlights in his career, but I had the great pleasure of calling perhaps his first, and certainly one of his most memorable. It was September 24th, 2004. Coach Goff, you might have been in the booth with me that night. Rennie was a sophomore linebacker, and the Brookwood Broncos were in a real battle with Coach T. McFerrin and South Gwinnett Comets. And they were threatening to score and take the lead. That's when Rennie stepped in front of a pass at the goal line and took it to the house. 100 yards in the Broncos' 27-21 victory. So the fact that we are inducting Rennie into the High School Football Hall of Fame tonight is no surprise to me. He graduated as the Broncos' all-time leading tackler during the senior season. He had 198 total tackles, 13 sacks, and 23 TFL. Rennie was named the Class 5A Defensive Player of the Year and committed to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. At Georgia, he was a permanent captain for all 3 seasons. He was a 3-time All-America selection. He was named first-team All-SEC in 2008 and 2009. Declared for the NFL draft after his junior season. He was chosen in the 3rd round of the draft, played 2 seasons in the league, and then 3 more in the CFL. Rennie entered the Gwinnett County Sports Hall of Fame in 2019 and the Georgia-Florida Hall of Fame that same year. An author and motivational speaker, perhaps you've seen him a lot on television, he continues to inspire individuals with the Game Changers Foundation. Rennie was also listed in the UGA 40 under 40. I remember when I was under 40. And Terry School Alumni of the Year for 2023. Welcome, Rennie Curran, to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. All right, Rennie, I know you remember what I was talking about there. Talk about it all the time. How hard is it to run 100 yards with 11 guys chasing you and carrying a football?
It wasn't hard. I'm just glad I caught the ball because I got a lot of trash talking back in those days about not being able to catch and different things like that, along with not being tall enough, along with a lot of other things. But once I got that ball in my hand as a sophomore, man, just get my first opportunity. It's good to get out there and make something happen.
It was a spectacular play. I'll never forget it. Quickly, what did you most learn from playing in a great program like Brookwood High School?
So much, man. As they say, it takes a village. And I was blessed with amazing parents, man. People of faith, work ethic, dedication. But I had so many people in that community that blessed me, man. And I get emotional when I think about it. From coaches to trainers that let me train for free, man, to the lunch ladies who would slide me extra food when I was on free and reduced lunch meals, the janitors who would open up the door for me when I was trying to watch extra film with me. I could go on and on. But I learned just about community, about values, not just speaking it, but living it. And so I'm so thankful that I was part of the Brookwood community.
Rennie's not just a member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. He's a member of the People Hall of Fame. He is a great guy. Rennie, congratulations.
name is Sam Crenshaw, and I've done a lot of things covering high school sports down through the years. I'm proud of something I'm doing right now called the High School Scoreboard Show on 9290 Game. Hope you've been listening to it. This is our third season. My cohort, Chris Parker's here somewhere. Chris, just raise your hand. Look right, way back in the back right there. But we're proud of what we get to do. Next inductee, Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, is Ray Donaldson from East Rome High School. 6-time Pro Bowl center, a 17-season NFL player, began his historic football career as a 3-sport star at East Rome High. Now, he played 2 varsity football seasons, earned letters in both basketball and baseball as well. He started as a fullback, tight end, linebacker on the gridiron as a senior in 1975. He was named first team AJC All-State player, also an All-American selection. The University of Georgia recruited Donaldson to play linebacker for the Bulldogs, but he was switched to center. It was a great move for him because he was named first team All-ACC and third team All-American for his efforts on the field. The then Baltimore Colts drafted Donaldson in the second round of 1980 NFL draft, 32 overall. He is believed to be the first African-American full-time starting center in the National Football League. He made 228 career starts, made 4 Pro Bowls, 1986 through 89 for the Indianapolis Colts. He was part of the franchise's move. That's right, y'all seen that video of that Mayflower truck? He was part of the Mayflower truck going from Baltimore to Indianapolis. In addition to being named second team All-Pro in 1987, Donaldson made his final 2 Pro Bowl teams at ages 37 and 38 with the Dallas Cowboys, a member of the Cowboys Super Bowl championship team's 1995 season, inducted into the Rome Sports Hall of Fame in 2004 and the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2006. Please welcome a new addition to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, East Rome's Ray Donaldson. Welcome, Ray. No way. I grew up on the south side of Atlanta around the same time you were up. So I heard about East Rome against West Rome and what the vibe was like in the city when they would play. Take us back, if you will, to growing up, your observations of that, how the city reacted, and then get a chance to take part in it. What does that mean? They don't do that anymore.
It meant a great deal, man, because when we would play West Rome, everybody came out. It was the only time that we filled the stadium completely and around the stadium. We had to think all the left, what people would go up there and sit and watch the game. Because we game played back in the city.
Talk about those memories now and the things you're able to achieve. You said first African American starting center, NFL. I got to ask you about that. When you hear people say that, what does that mean?
Well, it's a great feeling, but it was tough at first getting there to play because of medical officers, you know, something that they're not mentioned, but it's great. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. We're glad to honor you here tonight. All right? So welcome to the Hall of Fame.
I'm George Strait. At Northside High School, Buzzy Rosenberg played quarterback and defensive back and received All-State recognition twice while being named to the top 100 players in America. Now here's what I want you to listen to. In one high school game, Buzzy ran for 2 touchdowns. He threw for a touchdown, he returned an interception for a touchdown, and he ran a punt back for a touchdown, all in one game. He was a 3-year starter at Georgia from 1970 through 1972, 2-time all-conference player, graduated with the highest GPA of any senior on the team. 53 years later, he still holds 4 punt return records. When he was 19 years old, Vince Dooley nicknamed Rosenberg Super Frog because at 5'9" he jumped up and put his elbow on the goalpost crossbar. He went on to compete in many athletic competitions after football. And I'm serious about this. He was named most physical man in Jacksonville, Florida at age 34. He was the oldest competitor to ever win the American Gladiator TV show at 42. And this just in, he completed 56 pull-ups in 1 minute a year ago at age 71. All that said, people tell me that his sister Susie was the best athlete in the family. Please welcome Buzzy Rosenberg. Congratulations. Now get down and give me 20.
President of the United States, they wouldn't have a chance.
What do you remember most about Northside High School?
Oh, it's so easy. I remember my teammates. I love my teammates. I got teammates here at my age. I played 55 years ago. I remember the fans, the 12th man. The 12th man gets a guy like me going. Straight up. I mean, without the fans, we're nothing. High school football, I remember Cheney Stadium, Brady Stadium. I remember playing against guys like Jamel at Douglas High School. Matter of fact, that's the high school I had all that best high school. That was my best game in high school. I remember so much about high school, but I got to tell you, I am so humbled to be here tonight. I'm so proud of all of us that are here tonight. All the players, all these guys that are winners, you know. Somebody said one time, they asked me a question, they said, if you could put a spell on somebody, would you put a spell on a team so they'd never win again? I said, hell no. I said, those guys hustle just as much as I do. We're all brothers. Everybody that plays football goes through a lot of stuff, gets knocked down. Every guy in here, I don't care how big they are, how strong they are, how fast they are, they're going through a lot of, they weren't always like that. You know, they had to grow up and you get knocked down a lot. So my motto in life is, obviously, don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. And I want to prove a point tonight. All football players are not huge. And don't ever judge a book by stuff.
Congratulations, Buzzy.
I can't do that with them.
just did, I'm going to go home and start working out a lot. During his high school years, Dan Reeves excelled as a multi-sport athlete playing football, basketball, and baseball. Dan was MVP at the Georgia High School Football All-Star Game, and he earned a scholarship to South Carolina. He was a 3-year starter for the Gamecocks, where he was named second-team All-Conference his junior and senior seasons. Following his successful college playing career, Reeves was signed by the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent, where he would play 8 seasons and was part of the famous Ice Bowl at Green Bay and later the Cowboys Super Bowl VI championship team. After his playing career, Dan became a coach, first working as an assistant for the legendary Tom Landry. In 1981, he would become head coach of the Denver Broncos, leading them to 3 Super Bowl appearances. All totaled, he was an NFL head coach for 23 seasons, also leading the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. In 1998, he did the unimaginable, leading the, to that point, moribund Atlanta Falcons to the NFC Championship and Super Bowl 33. Lifetime Atlantans were stunned. We never thought we would see that in our lifetime, much less twice. Despite being sidelined a couple of weeks because of stress on his heart, the Falcons will do that too. He finished with 201 career victories and always be remembered as a most gracious man. The late Coach Dan Reeves is represented tonight by current Sumter County head coach Will Rogers.
Daddy's side, that's a man below the gonna keep us kind. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stick right through, stick because.
Special shout out to the Sumter County football team that made the trip from Americus to represent one of the most famous football players ever, Coach Dan Reeves. Guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. All right, Jeff Saturday starred at Shamrock High School in Decatur and is now widely regarded as one of the greatest centers to ever play the game. His talents earned him a scholarship to play at North Carolina. After 4 years at UNC, Jeff was signed by the Baltimore Ravens as an undrafted free agent in 1988, but ironically, would ultimately spend the bulk of his career as the center for the #1 pick in that very same draft, some guy named Peyton Manning. Jeff was an integral part of the Colts' 2006 Super Bowl team and was a 6-time Pro Bowler, was named to the All-Pro team twice, and was a 2-time second-team All-Pro. In 2007, he was selected as Offensive Lineman of the Year by the NFL Alumni Association and was inducted into the Indianapolis Colts Ring of Honor in 2015, inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2017. Saturday returned to his Georgia high school roots in 2017 and coached Hebron Christian until 2020. In 2022, he became the Colts interim head coach and in so doing became the first and maybe only coach ever to go from the GHSA to the NFL. Don't know that that's ever going to happen again, but you never know. And virtually every day now, you can see Jeff Saturday on ESPN. Welcome to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Jeff Saturday. Thank you. How many recruiting stars did you have at Shamrock High School?
Zero.
This is living.
Unlike all these guys up here. In fact, Coach Golf, who's going to go in, actually had to induct me into the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. When he told me, he's like, "You're really tough, but you're really short and small. So we had to pass on you." But we have made up since then, but I have 0 stars.
Yeah, so what would your message be to those high school football players, some of them in attendance here tonight, maybe some watching on the webcast, who are thinking, man, I got no shot to make it in this season?
Don't let anybody else define you. You know, you know what you got in your heart. You know about work ethic. You know about pushing through. Don't be denied. If you had a dream, pursue it, seek it, get after it the best you can. Let God take care of the rest.
Last question for you. What did you learn coaching the Hebron Christian Lions that helped you with the Indianapolis Colts?
Accountability. How to translate guys understanding, listen, your role, your job is so important. 1 of 11 really matters. And so whatever level of football we're at, we all know didn't make any difference, but that's what I took up there.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate you.
Jeff Saturday, newest member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
The next inductee is Pat Swilling from Stephens County High School. Had a chance to talk with him just last week on our scoreboard show. He confirmed something for me. This was he's a basketball player as well. I said, were you guys the high school that would come into the gym instead of shooting layups with jump ropes? And he said, yes, that was us. He grew up playing basketball and baseball and was blessed with height at a young age. He stands 6'3" by the time he was a freshman. Inspired to play football, was watching the Dallas Cowboys' Ed Too Tall Jones sack a quarterback in a televised game and believed he could use his gift to become a pass rusher. Swilling decided to focus on football, became one of the state's most dominant pass rushers by his senior year. Swilling continued his football career at Georgia Tech, which Bill Curry called him a game changer. 4-year starter, helped turn the program around, was a key piece of the defense that adopted the nickname Black Watch, moniker that shared the Scottish military forces from the 1700s. Swilling set NCAA single game record with 7 sacks against NC State in 1985, became Tech's all-time sacks leader, 23. New Orleans Saints selected Swilling in the 3rd round of 1986 NFL draft, was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 1991. 2-time All-Pro, 91 and 92. Swilling was selected to 5 Pro Bowls. He was inducted to the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame tonight. We welcome him to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Stephens County, Pat Swilling. Congratulations and welcome. Great to see you again. We talked about, the different sports you play and those jump ropes and whatnot. But talk about the versatility and what being a multiple sport athlete did for you. It really helped you with your football.
Well, when I was at Stephens County, I remember John Guy and Ray Goff. They both one's at Georgia Tech, one's at Georgia. Ray Goff's at Georgia. John Guy was wound up being my position coach. And they wanted to make me an offensive lineman. An offensive lineman. They came to practice and watched me play basketball, and John Guy said, well, he can me play outside linebacker. So I got lucky, and Ray Goff, I think, still wanted me to be an offensive tackle. So I went to Georgia Tech, and it turned out well for me. So that's the versatility for you.
You told me you were going to remind him about that tonight.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Next up, we go to the mountains, in the Mountain Region. John Davis was a four-year letterman for Gilmer High, who played football and basketball for the Bobcats, graduating in 1983, named the team's best defensive player in 81, team captain in 82. Davis was named to the 1982 Class AA Lineman of the Year by the AJC, first team offensive line, on the 20-year All-State team from 1966 to 1986, published by the AJC in 1987. Took his talents to Georgia Tech, four-year starter. First team All-American 1985 by the Sporting Goods. Second team All-American by UPI in 1986. Contributions to Georgia Tech athletics earned him a place in the Institute's Athletics Hall of Fame in 1991. Selected by the Houston Oilers in the 11th round of the draft in 1987. Played there until 89, where he joined the Buffalo Bills. And I'm going to take an aside here. He was a part of one of the best offenses never talked about enough in the National Football League with the Buffalo Bills. As a Billy, was a member of 4 Super Bowl teams before retiring in 1994-93. He was awarded the NFL's Ed Block Courage Award, which honors one player from each NFL team who makes a commitment to sportsmanship and courage outside of football. John and his wife Hester helped the start of the Georgia Mountains Hospice by starting the John Davis Golf Classic to benefit GMH, raising over $1 million to date. From the mountains in Ellijay to the flats in the Hall of Fame there to the Hall of Fame here tonight, we welcome John Davis to the High School Hall of Fame. Congratulations. When you think back at your time in Ellijay to now, you put that jacket on. I'm going to violate a television tenet here as a sideline reporter. How does that feel, wearing that?
Well, it seems like it's come full circle. You know, I grew up in such a great community, and I'd like to shout out, if I don't get too emotional, to my principal, Lex Rain, because he was a part of that, and he is not only a great friend, but he's a great mentor. But growing up in Ellijay 40 years ago is a lot different than today. And the community raised you. Rennie Curran, I feel like I came from his hometown, because that's exactly the way it was.
Congratulations, my friend, on being on part of the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
Scott Warner's high school career began in Jonesboro, where he played for the Jonesboro High School team, lettered in basketball, track and field, played quarterback and running back for Wayman Sellers. He developed into one of Georgia's top prospects and attended the University of Georgia and became one of the most celebrated players in Bulldog history. In his freshman year against Kentucky, he returned 6 kickoffs for 190 yards, a single-game school record which still stands. He became a starter at quarterback in his sophomore year, intercepted 4 passes, took over the punt return duties. As a junior, he intercepted 4 more passes and then he capped his career by intercepting 2 passes in the Sugar Bowl to seal Georgia's national championship victory over Notre Dame. Warner was drafted by the Falcons in the 3rd round of the 1981 draft. After a year, he went on to play for the Philadelphia Stars of the USFL. All he did there was win 2 league championships. He is a Georgia Sports Hall of Famer, and he entered the College Football Hall of Fame. His picture's right up there. Back in 2016. Please welcome Warner. Great walk-up music. Congratulations. What do you remember about playing at Jonesboro?
Very little.
Well, you had a lot of years in football, I can understand.
I brought my living memory with me. Where you are, Kenny? Where you at? There you are, right there. My living memory, my high school teammate. Yeah, and if I have a question, I call him.
Did you ever believe that you would leave Jonesboro and then live up as a hermit in the North Georgia mountains like you do?
Yes, it's a good place to hide. No questions asked.
Well, you're now a member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Scott Warner!
Next from Ballard Hudson, that's Julius Adams. Julius the Jewel Adams was a standout. Ballard Hudson became a star tackle that gained statewide recognition. His name, Ballard Hudson Player of the Year, was recruited by UCLA and Michigan State before opting to attend Texas Southern. Adams earned all conference honors for the 1968 and 1970 seasons, made an immediate and long-lasting impact, being selected by the New England Patriots in the 2nd round of the 1971 NFL Draft. He started as a rookie and was chosen to the All-Rookie team. His NFL career, Adams played in 180 games with 151 starts, had 75.5 career sacks to his credit, and was a top tackler among the Patriots defensive linemen in 1983. Total 83 tackles. In 1980, he made his first and only Pro Bowl appearance. He won the Jim Lee Hunt Memorial Award, given the most outstanding Patriot lineman in both 1980 and 1982. He was a member of both the 1970 and 1980 All-Decade teams, in addition to the Patriots' 35th and 50th anniversary teams. Perhaps the highlight of his long and storied career with New England was playing in the Super Bowl in 1986 against the Chicago Bears. Adams was inducted into the Macon Sports Hall of Fame in 2016. Shortly there, passing away at the age of 67. But let's welcome from Ballard Hudson High School, Julius Adams, Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Have you ever heard of Mike Bobo? Well, let me tell you, he started at Thomasville High School, where he was a three-sport athlete competing on the football, basketball, and tennis teams. He set numerous records at Thomasville, including most pass completions in a season, 145, most touchdown passes, 23, most career passing yards at almost 5,200. The former USA Today Georgia High School Player of the Year quarterback, the Bulldogs, from 94 to 97, threw for almost 6,500 yards, the seventh most in all-time Bulldog history. Little-known teammate Kirby Smart was in awe of him. Mike went into the family business. During his 14-year stint as an assistant at Georgia, Bobo helped coach the Bulldogs to 135 victories and 2 SEC championships. Then he became the head coach at Colorado State for 5 seasons before returning to Georgia as a quality control analyst in 2022. He was promoted to offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs last February. And now Mike Bobo calls the plays for the #1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Please welcome Mike Bobo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have Mike with us tonight because we're in the middle of the football season. Georgia has the off week before they play Florida next week. What are you going to run against the Gators?
First of all, I'll take it to Mike, okay? How about Georgia high school football, first of all? All right, I'm sitting up here, and I'm looking at this list, and I grew up watching Keith Henderson when I was in Rome. My dad was a high school coach at West Rome. Keith Henderson was unbelievable. Then I moved to Thomasville, and I'm watching Al Pinkins play in Camilla. I wore number 14 because of Al Pinkins. Unbelievable. High school football. No, I'm not high school football. All right, got it. My dad's here tonight. I want to thank my dad. Was my high school coach. My high school teammates are here. Unbelievable event, and seeing guys like guys that I played with, guys that I coached. DJ Shockley came up tonight, broke down the tears seeing him. Brittany Curran, Jarvis Jones in here, Marcus Stroud, Charles Johnson. High school sports in Georgia is where it's at. I'm about to share it right now, Bill.
It sure is. Thank you for being here. Now get 20 for me.
Bill talk about Scott Warner and the 6 kick returns for 190 yards in a single game. I don't know, maybe it's just the TV play-by-play guy in me, but I was like, why do they keep kicking him the ball? I mean, after 1 or 2, don't you think you kick it out of bounds? Something, sky ball or something. Yeah. All right, Adam Meadows was a multi-sport standout for the McEachern Indians in football and basketball. An offensive tackle and tight end, he played under legendary head coach Jimmy Dorsey. Adam was first-team All-State as a tight end. In 1991, he helped the Indians to a 42-8 record in his career in his 4 years as a starter, 3 region titles, and a state semifinal finish. As a junior, Adam even caught 16 balls for 378 yards and 7 touchdowns, and they were running the wing team. But at 6'5", 290 pounds, he was destined for the offensive line, and that's where he started 4 seasons with the Georgia Bulldogs. And in 1996, he was named All-SEC. The next spring, Adam was selected by the Colts as the 48th pick of the 97 draft. He would start 99 games over the next 7 seasons before a shoulder injury forced him to retire, but like many of us, he couldn't give it up. He came back for 1 more season with the Broncos. In 2017, Adam was inducted into the McEachern Athletics Hall of Fame. That's a pretty stout Hall of Fame, by the way. And was joined by his former coach, Jimmy Dorsey, in 2021. Let's welcome Adam Meadows to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Extreme, I rock a mic like a band, line up a stage and wipe the chunks like a candle. Dance, crush the speaker that booms, I'm killing your brain like a voice that's mushroom deadly. When I'm playing this melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it, you better think way, you better get a dress out of shit, don't play. If it was a problem, so I saw me, check out the boy on my stage.
Wow, Adam Meadows up here. Now, how did you get Jimmy Dorsey to throw you the ball 17 times? Jimmy didn't like to run the ball, didn't like to pass the ball. He loved to run the ball a lot back in those days.
One, that number's wrong. I called way more passes than 16. And more than that my senior year. But I got to bring something. Everybody got one of these, right? You over here? So, if we look at the photo montage, where's John Stinchcomb? John. So as if the Stinchcombs don't get enough attention, let's scroll across here. There's Guy McIntyre, the beast, and then next to that's Adam Meadows. No, that's not. That's John Stinchcomb.
I'm not in charge of that. I wasn't in charge of that.
All seriousness, what did you learn playing in that small college in Powder Springs that they call McEachern High School?
Gosh, when I was inducted into the McEachern Hall of Fame, I made a point to say that, it meant everything to me being in that community to play varsity football for teaching. So it was my goal as a kid. And to be able to play with Coach Dorsey, Coach Stapp is here, and he prepared me for the brutal coaches I would play for in the future. So it was a great experience. Lifelong friends, great memories. Probably the most fun I've ever had playing football.
Congratulations, Adam Meadows, newest member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Halfway through the season, made that switch from Jeremy Myers to didn't have anybody close to it. So like, yeah, we got this pretty good.
Billy Henderson is best known as a Hall of Fame high school coach at Willingham and at Clark Central. But he was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame purely as an athlete. Back then, a Macon newspaper reported that Henderson was believed to be the only prep athlete in Georgia to ever earn All-American honors in two sports, football and baseball. He was a two-time All-Southern football player, 3-year starter at Macon's Lanier High. And according to the Macon News, he scored a record 150 points in 9 games as a senior. He scored more than 50 touchdowns in his career, which is unbelievable in a time when people didn't score a lot of touchdowns. He had a long career at Georgia, in Georgia's high school football coaching. He won 285 games in the state championship at Clark Central in 1977, 79, and 1985. Billy is in numerous Hall of Fames already. My friend Billy passed away at age 89 in 2018, and tonight his daughters Carol Brooks and Chris Watts are here to honor their father, Billy Henderson. The sound that waves on the action beat and sound see the old smoke rising round the bend, folks around these parts get the time of day from the action beat.
Here she comes.
He's a good dude.
Ooh, hey, Jim, you better get the rhythm. She's got a list of passengers.
Ladies, thank you for being here. We love your fathers.
Our next inductee is Guy McIntyre, another Thomasville Bulldog going in tonight. You know, a famous football coach once said, you play to win the game, and I don't know that any of our inductees were more prolific winners during their football career than Mr. McIntyre was. At the University of Georgia, he was a part of the 1980 National Championship team, a part of 3 SEC championship teams, a Cotton Bowl win against Texas in 1983, and for Georgia fans of a certain age, if you still ask them what time it is in Texas, they'll say 10 to 9. I know a lot of folks have good memories of that. But perhaps Mr. McIntyre best known for his time in the NFL, where he was a 3-time Super Bowl champ with the San Francisco 49ers, a 5-time Pro Bowler, individual accolades, 2-time All-SEC. He was blocker of the year in the SEC back in 1983. But for him, it all started, as I said, right back there in Thomasville in the 1970s, where he was an AJC All-State player. He was an All-American while playing the position tight end, not the position he would later become famous for. But an all-time great here in the state of Georgia for this state's one of its heritage programs there in Thomasville. Join me in welcoming Guy McIntyre into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. On Guy McIntyre as well. Do you see what those? Join us, ladies. One more time, the Thomasville Bulldog, Georgia Bulldog, San Francisco 49er, Guy McIntyre. First of all, Mr. McIntyre, tell us who you brought with us here tonight.
This is my great niece, Steve, and this is my daughter, Belly.
We talked before about the great, fantastic. We talked before about the great success you've had, championships, the college, the pro level. How did your time at Thomasville prepare you for that?
Well, I had some great coaches. One of the greatest coaches is Coach James Bryant. He coached my mom, he coached Charlie Ward dad, and he was very, very instrumental in my life. And I got my classmate back there, Dwight Wilson, and and Robin Hines, so I can't, I'm in heaven.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. Guy McIntyre, everybody. Next up on the list, we take a trip to Carrollton. Reggie Brown was a multi-sport athlete at Carrollton High, was an all-classification player of the year, the state's #1 recruit, a USA Today and Parade All-American in football, Charlie Grisham won 3 titles in 4 years in the 1970s. In 1998, Reggie Brown starred in Carrollton's first state championship since 1974. 62 passes, just over 1,000 yards. Part of the 3 consecutive region champ teams in hoops. Starred in track. Set the state record for long jump as a sophomore at 24.9 at the 1997 meet in Jefferson. I don't know if you know this, but Reggie Brown continued his football career after his high school days at some place called the University of Georgia. He was okay there. 144 passes, 2,008 yards, 12 touchdowns during his career. The team went 50-14, 13-1 in 2002 that included the win in the Sugar Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles selected him 35th overall in the 2005 draft. Led all rookie receivers in his first year. 43 catches for 571 yards during his tenure with the Eagles. 177 catches, 17 scores. Just over 2,500 yards receiving. After his playing career, he's transitioned to a coaching career. 2019, hired as a wide receiver and assistant coach for the Cambridge Bears, and Craig Bennett, a role he maintains to this day. We welcome Reggie Brown to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
You on the ball with the kid? Watch your step, you might fall trying to do what I did. Mama, post side in the middle of the club with the rubber duck. No love for the haters. I guess I got 4 seats at the Lakers. See me on the 50-yard line with the Raiders. And I mean, you told me I'm the greatest. I got the fever for the river of a crowd pleaser. DJ play the number from the president, show highness. Only back chips, riding my whip. South to the west, to the east, to the north. For my up sound, go off, yes, sure. You know, stop.
I mentioned that state title back in 1998. I wanted to ask the impact that the head coach of that team had in your life then and to this day. A legend by the name of Ben Scott. What did he mean to you as a young man, and how have you carried those lessons forward today?
Coach Scott was just one of those coaches that kind of really instilled work into you. And I can always remember the saying is that you can't stay out with the owls and expect to fly with the eagles. And that's something I kept with me, just always being intent in trying to work hard and be the best player that I could be. And one thing I want to say right now, while Terrence stands up, they did beat us my junior year. But I got shot too, though.
Nothing like Carrollton going after Waco and North Clayton here on the stage, right?
But no, playing in Carrollton, my entire high school career, all the guys that I played with, we grew up playing together. I got my track coach here, Coach Musselwhite. I grew up with all the seniors, juniors. It was a giant family in Carrollton, and the legacy continues. We're always going to be good, no matter what. But this is a great privilege, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome to this family.
Our next inductee is Keith Henderson from the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. By the way, we got the Purple Hurricanes in the building right now, 9-0 on the season. Coach Connor Foster bringing his guys out here. There you go. Looking good in the purple as always. When I was first invited to be a part of the board for the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, I was incredibly privileged. And one of my favorite things about this is learning a lot about the history of the sport, the same things that I thought I knew that were perhaps even more impressive than I realized. And when you look at Keith Henderson's career playing at Cartersville, that's certainly an example of that. First of all, he was a three-time All-State. It is not easy to make All-State more than once. It's not easy to make it ever. It's certainly not easy to make it more than once. To be a three-time All-State is an amazing thing. He was a Parade and USA Today All-American. He was the All-Classification Player of the Year for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The numbers are incredible. How about in a 10-game season, 2,046 yards rushing, 20 touchdowns, set a single game record for the state of Georgia in 1984 with 432 yards rushing. He finished his career at Cartersville, 5,872 yards, 60 total touchdowns. He's also one of the many honorees tonight. He was also a Super Bowl champion as well, also with the San Francisco 49ers. And if you'll allow me to be selfish for a moment, one of my favorite Keith Henderson moments, at Jacksonville, 1985, beating Florida in a tremendous win there. That's one of the things I'll always think about Keith Henderson about. But tonight, we're here to honor him for his time at Cartersville and welcome him in to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Perfect fit. As he comes to the stage one more time for Keith Henderson. So we just ran through an amazing stat line. The back of your football card, so to speak, is really amazing. But when you think back on your own career, what stands out to you? What are your fondest memories from your time there at Cartersville?
Come down here to 288.
Well, you've got the entire Cartersville team here tonight, or at least many of those folks here, a lot of other young folks as well. When you look back on your time in football and what the sport has meant to you, what would your message be to that next generation of Purple Hurricanes, who, by the way, are a terrific football team in their own right as well?
Whatever you decide to do, you do it 100%. If you can't do it 100%, you do it 130%. Because that's the only chance you're going to get.
That's what your career is all about, right?
Correct.
Congratulations, sir. Keith Henderson, everybody.
I have a dear friend named David Dennis, played quarterback at Old Smith High School. He told me the hardest he ever had hit on a football field was in the game against West Fulton, a guy named Lucius Sanford. I think the man played that game at Old Cheney Stadium over in Georgia Avenue. Lucius Sanford was a three-sport letterman: football, track, basketball at West Fulton High. Georgia Tech was a four-year starter from 1974 through 77. As a true freshman, he played for the Jackets and recorded 14 tackles in his debut against #1 ranked Notre Dame. Sanford finished his freshman season with 124 tackles, setting the freshman record that still stands today. He finished his career at Georgia Tech as his career leader in tackles, 433, led the Yellow Jackets in tackles for 3 consecutive seasons. Sanford was a 3-time All-South Independent selection from 74 through 77 and earned first-team All-America honors in 1977 from the AFCA and Sporting News, as well as second-team accolades from the Associated Press. Sanford earned his degree in industrial management before he was selected in the 4th round of the 1978 NFL Draft by the Buffalo Bills. In the NFL, he enjoyed a 10-year playing career, 9 with the Bills and 1 season with the Cleveland Browns. Temple was inducted into the Georgia Tech Sports Hall of Fame in 1985, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2001. He is currently the executive director of the Letter Winner Association, Georgia Tech. He joined the Georgia Tech Athletic Association staff in 1998 as director of student life after a 9-year career in the financial industry. Please welcome the latest inductee to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame from West Fulton High School, Lucius Stanford. Lucius Stanford. Everyone here is going to talk about the coaches. And I want you to talk a little bit about your college coach who's also being inducted tonight, and your high school coach, and the impact that they had on your life.
It's special, actually, tonight, simply because going in with the inductees, first of all, congratulations, but then having to go in the same one with guys you played with, your college coach. And the thing about my high school coach is that he just passed last week. That one hurt. That one hurt a whole lot. But I did have an opportunity to be with him there at the hospital, to shake his hand, to rub his shoulders, tell him how much I love him. This is a guy that he would stop in the middle of practice in the summer and ask us, guys, why are we doing this? We said, well, we want them to read, we want them to say. He says, no, that's not why we're doing this. We're doing this because I'm teaching you how to be successful in life. You know, the traits in terms of being goal-oriented, being able to work in a team environment. Check out your parents every day getting up, going to work in the morning. Coach Wade was unbelievable. When I finally decided to go to Georgia Tech, he said, hey, come to my office, I want to talk to you. And the thing about it, going in there, I'm thinking, I'm going to get this Eddie Robinson type, rah, let's go. Or Newt Rodney. He set me down right across the table. He put a sheet of paper in front of me. And that sheet of paper said, this is the curriculum at Georgia Tech. This is what you do your freshman year. This is what you do your sophomore year, your junior year, your senior year. Now, you got to pass 15 hours per semester, and went all the way through it. I'm thinking, God, what about football? He says, did you hear anything I said? He said, hey, promise me one thing and we'll be okay. Promise me you will always be the best that you can be in playing football. Do it the way you know how. I said, I will. That's no problem. He was like 7'5". Then he looks at me and says, this is what you need. He said, you got a great opportunity to move on, to go ahead on and play professional football. You know, it could happen, but if it doesn't happen, this is what's going to take care of yourself and your family for the rest of your life. This is what you need. You make sure when you leave Tech, you have that degree in your hand. Love him for that. And I know he's here.
Thanks for sharing that.
Our 23rd inductee tonight hails from Georgia Military Prep. Put your hands together for Bill Hardman.
Coach Hartman started Georgia Military Prep in 1933, the team that was coached by the legendary Wallace Butts, and declared a state champion. According to the Macon Telegraph, Hartman was the outstanding star of the game in a 26-0 victory over Gordon Institute that clinched the mythical title. Hartman played quarterback and running back and was highly regarded prior to Georgia Military when playing at Madison A&M. He played fullback and linebacker at Georgia and made an All-American team in 1937. Hartman became the first Georgia Bulldog ever in the NFL draft as the 69th overall pick in 1938. He played one season in the NFL, starting 4 games, though mostly backing up legendary quarterback Sammy Baugh. But he declined to return to the league and joined the Georgia's coaching staff full-time under Butts and served until 1956. He later worked as a volunteer kicking coach under Coach Vince Dooley for 20 years. Hartman became a legendary figure in the Athens community and Georgia Athletic Department. He was the president of the university's Alumni Association and the Georgia Student Educational Fund, which was formed to raise private funds for athletic scholarships. Hartman entered the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1981, the College Football Hall of Fame in 1984, and the University of Georgia's Circle of Honor in 1999. Coach Hartman passed away in 2006 at the age of 90. Accepting his award tonight is his baby boy and baby girl, Bill Jr. and Barbara. Congratulations, baby boy. If your dad was here tonight, what would he want all of these great fans of the game to know about his career?
That he absolutely loved Georgia football, Georgia high school football, University of Georgia football. He was a great man. I tell people that he was the real Bill Hartman. I just played one on television.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Bill Hartman.
That's what the face of the jam is live, and I'm best and I don't waste time. On the mic with a dope rhyme, jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhythm, jump. And I'm here to keep the line, things and lyrics to make you shake your head, take a chance. Come on,
Next up on the list, we go to Lowndes. Randall Godfrey, a three-sport athlete, football, basketball, and track at Lowndes High in Valdosta. Spent some time at the Concrete Palace. Started his first varsity snaps as a freshman safety, moved to linebacker as a sophomore. As a senior in 1991, he wrapped up the season with 111 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 picks, first team All-State for the first time, AJC Super 11, USA Today All-American. 6'3", 215, ran the 100 meters in 10.89. That is not slow. Made him a top 10 recruit nationally, went on to play at UGA, became the first true freshman in school history to lead the team in tackles with 114. SEC Defensive Freshman of the Year, All SEC 93 and 94. Dallas Cowboys selected him in the second round of the 96 draft, played 12 seasons in the National Football League. Dallas, Titans, Seahawks, Chargers, Redskins, second team All-Pro in 2000. He's now an Atlanta resident, and he's established foundations in his name that support youth recreational centers and domestic abuse survivors. Keeping it in the family, his son RJ plays hoops at Clemson. His son Grant is a linebacker at Kentucky. Please welcome Randall Godfrey into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Let's get the east side of the LBC. The mission trying to find is the Warren G. See a car full of girls, take a lead to tweet. Yes, they searching for something to one girl, so I don't select. Only 21 niggas, some rubber shit you got sauce. Let's do this, I jumped out the rock. Say what's up, some boys want some men, so what's up? I'm selling girl, pick the knee, I'm like, I'm twice. Before the get so hard, they straight up the curve. Want to make a better me, that's a corny trick. I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix.
There's always talk of one Lowndes, living by the Crimson Creed, being there for others and doing unto others as you would do with yourself and for your family. When you think back at your time at Lowndes, how did that shape you to be the man that you are today?
Well, I tell you what, it's just a community. There's nothing like the Wintersville Classic. That's between Valdosta and Lowndes. And you see the great Stan Rome here and Buck Ballou, who went before me, but just to represent our city, it's just unbelievable. When you get 10 to 15,000 fans in a stadium on Friday night, it gives you chill bumps. And so that's all the kids did. We aspired to get there and just be able to experience that moment. And that just kept us motivated. And just being here, I'm honored to see so many great players. I lost my mother last week, a couple weeks ago, but she's been with me a long time. But I give it back to my community. I give it back to the people, my wife, my kids. They're here today supporting, but there's nothing like coming from Lowndes County, that community, and how they embrace football.
And your family expands tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
They got my homie hemmed up and they all around.
This next gentleman was just an absolute legend. I never got a chance to see him play high school ball in person, but I did see him between the hedges. But I remember as a kid getting up, getting that Saturday morning Atlanta Constitution and checking out all the scores. That's the way we used to do it. They didn't come on your phone, kids. You had to wait for the morning paper to find out who beat who the night before. But it was fun that way, too. Anthony Flanagan was a multi-sport star at Atlanta Southwest High School. He became the first African-American quarterback at the University of Georgia, paved the way for a lot of young men. Anthony was the Class 2A Back of the Year and Parade All-American in 1973 when he led Southwest football team to the Class 2A state championship. He threw for over 2,100 yards and a then state record 31 touchdowns for his 13-0 team. He also scored 12 rushing touchdowns, kicked 56 extra points, and a couple of field goals. The 1973 Southwest team was the first all-African American football team to win a GHSA state championship. Now, I always heard this about, never saw it. You're going to find this unbelievable, but Anthony was ambidextrous. He could throw a football 70 yards, that was his throwing arm, and then 60 with his other. He was an all-state basketball player, damn good one at that. He led Southwest to state championships in 1972 and 73. He played 2 seasons of basketball at Georgia and led the Bulldogs in assists. Unfortunately, Anthony left us way too soon, passing away in 2001 at the age of 44 from complications of diabetes. The city of Atlanta named a recreation center after Anthony Flanagan in 2016. Mr. Flanagan is represented tonight by his wife Rosalind and son Andrew. Welcome Anthony Flanagan, an Atlanta high school football legend, into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
day I saw this guy personally win a state championship. And it was so cold that night I couldn't feel my feet. Ronnie Brown started Cartersville as a two-way athlete, displaying impeccable running skills on offense, his football knowledge on defense. Brown led Cartersville to a 15-0 record in the 1999 Class 2A state championship, while rushing for 1,931 yards, 25 touchdowns, with 343 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns during that season. In the 27-21 victory over Hart County in the championship game, Brown rushed for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a parade All-American and was the 1999 GSWA Class 2A Player of the Year. Went on to Auburn, where he rushed for 2,707 yards, 7th in school history, with 28 touchdowns. 2004, Brown, together with Jason Campbell, one of the best backfield duos in recent history, leading Auburn to a 13-0 record while rushing for 913 yards and 8 touchdowns. Selected by the Miami Dolphins, second overall pick in the 2005 NFL Draft, he played 10 seasons in the National Football League, rushed for 5,391 yards and 38 touchdowns. He go with 246 receptions for 1,966 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 2020 and currently lives in Atlanta with his wife Taylor and their 2 children. He is active in the community while also doing sideline reporting for Auburn football games, and he's full-time well-managed professional. Please welcome the latest inductee into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Cartersville. Stand up! Ronnie Brown.
You never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. Only shooting stars when you're on the road. It's a cool place, and this league it's cool.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Fantastic, fantastic. Look, 2 things I want to ask you. Everybody talked about their hometowns and their coaches. I want you to talk a little bit about your village, because these young people have come from the same place that you are from, about that place, what it gave you, what you hope they get from it.
I think you just said it. It's a village. From the support that you get, I'm the product of the love of family, love of community. See, as you can see, my family's here, my godparents, and my high school. So, see, Bill, you know. So, you know, to be able to get that, these gentlemen come, they support me. They're here on a Saturday night after having a Friday night football game. It just means a lot. You know, I have an older cousin being inducted the same day in Keith Henderson. So, it says a lot about our community and our town.
Fantastic, it really does. Congratulations, Hall of Famer.
Appreciate it, thank you.
All right, it's Ronnie Brown.
Our next inductee is Jarvis Jones from Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia. Jarvis was a part of a historic team there at Carver in 2007, winning the state championship, the first and only in Carver's history, and also the first public school in Columbus to win a state championship since integration. He also had a tremendous career while at Carver Columbus. He was the 3A Defensive Player of the Year as a junior, 157 tackles during that season, 26 tackles for loss, 4 sacks there as well. During his high school career, he was an AJC Super 11 selection. He was first team All-State. He was involved in the 2009 All-American Bowl. He was a USA Today All-American there as well. And after that, he would eventually land at the University of Georgia, where he was first team All-SEC in both 2011 and 2012. He was the SEC's Defensive Player of the Year in 2012 there also. Would become a first-round pick, where he played in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Arizona Cardinals, and now he's a staffer on a part of the 2-time, back-to-back national champion, Georgia Bulldogs, Please join me in welcoming Jarvis Jones.
You never go sugar daddy. When you sugar yourself, see you can have whatever you like. See you can have whatever you like. Yeah, stacks on me, control no pine. We can pop bombs all night, baby. You can have whatever you like. See you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, the church is so special, so nice. Yeah, so yeah, for you tonight, baby, you can go wherever you like. I said you can go wherever you like. Anytime you want to, pick up the telephone. You can know that you can drop a couple stacks on. You can want you to get my dear $5 home job business, I swear.
Jarvis Jones, everybody. You know, Jarvis, when we say Carver Columbus, that's your school and your city. And I know how proud you are to be representing your school, but you know, tonight there's a lot of pride here as well from where folks come from in Georgia. You come from Columbus. What does Columbus mean to you?
Columbus is everything. It's all started at, man. One of the greats right here from my high school, DJ Jones. I've been a mentor since ninth grade, but Columbus is where it all started at. And it didn't start with football for me, but man, football changed my life. And when I started playing football, man, I found myself.
We've enjoyed watching you play and finding yourself in the football field for all these years there as well. Congratulations on a well-deserved honor. Jarvis Jones, everybody.
I saw that thing was so good. How much chocolate chip? And I got options. Where are you? All three? They didn't have any napkins.
They got no plate there. You won't know
I will wash these hands. And I will, ooh, you know what? Think I'm on this. Yeah. This work?
Quincy Carter.
QC.
Woo! That's right, Quincy Carter. Southwest DeKalb High School. Top 100 national prospect in baseball and football at Southwest DeKalb. Led the Panthers football team to the 1995 Quad A championship under legendary coach Buck Godfrey. He finished his high school career with over 4,000 passing yards, 37 passing touchdowns, 32 rushing touchdowns. AJC Player of the Year, Parade All-American. At 6'3", 210 pounds with strong arm size and speed and a proven winner in Georgia's highest classification, Carter possessed the strongest resume as a dual-threat quarterback prospect in state history at that point. Signed with Georgia Tech, but he was taken in the second round of the Major League Baseball draft. So he went to the minor leagues for a couple of years. Came back and signed with Georgia. He became the starting quarterback. Passed for well over 6,000 yards, second in school history at the time, behind fellow Hall of Famer Eric Zier. He was picked in the second round of the NFL, played 4 seasons, started 34 games, now a private quarterbacks coach in Atlanta. This year he joined Southwest DeKalb staff as a community coach, and that is Quincy Carter. Please welcome Mr. Carter.
Situation and they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the sun, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and the tin in my eye. I'm a low out rich, shut tripping back. And my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool with their thing, nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life with you and die. What can I say? 23 now, but will I live to see 24 the way you get to going, I don't know.
Quincy played back in the day when quarterbacks wore those huge shoulder pads. Huge shoulder pads. Come on up. Come on, I need that. Hey y'all, good to see you. Come over here so everybody can see you, okay? All right, Quincy, what a great pleasure it is to see you again, man. Wow. Tell me who these are?
This is my youngest daughter, Evelyn. She's 9, and this is my youngest son, Quincy. I've got another son who, is he still there? Oh, he is here, yeah. I was so selfish, I named a couple of my kids Quincy. So that's my oldest grandson. Who actually got a degree from Brevard and went back this year to get his master's, still playing basketball too.
Quincy played for Southwest DeKalb, and it was, what a great community that was. Buck Godfrey was such a great coach. Give me a quick synopsis of what you feel about Buck Godfrey.
Man, he was like a father figure to us, you know, who didn't have a father. I had my stepfather in the household, but he was, I guess he was my granddad, man. He was my everything, he was my confidant. He gave us all the confidence in the world. Actually, my other coaches here with me who gave me the confidence to go on and do great things at the quarterback position too, and that's Coach Steve Davenport. My mom being here, and my loved ones have been there since T-ball. Kayla and Linda and one of my teammates, Desmond Floyd, who's here with me, Reggie, Nakira, how can I miss you? You're going to kill me if I miss anybody, but just the love, the community, what Southwest DeKalb meant to me is everything, and man, this is for everybody, man.
Congratulations, Quincy. I'm telling you, Southwest DeKalb is really something. Still is.
Buck Godfrey would come out with his football team before the game. You see him on the sideline. You knew it was on. You knew you were about to have a game. He was going to be entertained. You ever met somebody and their name just fits them? You're like, that's right, that's right. Pepper Rogers was one of those guys. Pepper was a two-time All-State quarterback for Brown High School in Atlanta's West End. Led the Rebels to the Class AA championship in 1949. In a 41-13 upset at Glenn Academy, completed 12 of 15 passes for 214 and 4 touchdowns, and became one of 7 Brown seniors who signed with Georgia Tech. And that's what we call the pipeline today. Pepper was the backup quarterback on Tech's 1952 national championship team and shared the quarterback role as a senior on the 1953 Tech team. He was the MVP of the 1953 Sugar Bowl after throwing 3 touchdown passes and leading the Jackets to victory over West Virginia. After playing under legendary coach Bobby Dodd, Rogers was a 12th round draft pick in the NFL, but instead of signing with the NFL, spent 5 years in the Air Force and then became a coach. And that's where perhaps he's most famous, known as the head coach at Kansas, UCLA, and then his alma mater, Georgia Tech. Also coached the Memphis Showboats of USFL and was vice president of football operations for the Washington Redskins. He was inducted into the Georgia Tech Sports Hall of Fame in 1970, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2004. Pepper passed away in 2020 at age 88. Tonight he is represented by former great high school coaches here in the state of Georgia, now coaches on the Georgia Tech staff, Tim McFarland and Bill Stewart. Oh, it's going to be Bill.
Clearly got him on the mountain chain. Sending them on to the top. Bibbidi bop, bibbidi bop, bibbidi 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 bop, there's some cotton red needles floating way out there. A shovel for a miner who left his home to wander. Some with his and fields for the cities in the hill.
Hello, I'm Dolly Clark. Vernon Catfish Smith. Catfish Smith earned all-state recognition in football and basketball and baseball at Lanier High in Macon. 3-time all-state player. But listen to this. While at Lanier, he once bit off the head of a catfish on a dare. And from then on, he was known as Catfish Smith. Played at Georgia from Census All-American. Most famous performance came as a sophomore in 1929 when Georgia dedicated Sanford Stadium playing a heavily favored Yale team. He scored all 15 points as Georgia defeated Yale 15-0 on that day. Multisport, played basketball, baseball, captain of both of those teams. After his collegiate career, he remained in football, serving on coaching staffs at Georgia, South Carolina, and Mississippi. Joined the Air Force, rose to the rank of colonel before he retired in 1963. In '79, he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Catfish Smith passed away in 1988 at age 80. Here tonight, to honor his father, is his son Vernon. Come on down, Vernon, and as you do, how about this? Vernon played for Cal Berkeley in 1976 when they played Georgia at Sanford Stadium, in the stadium that his father dedicated in 1929. Vernon Catfish Smith.
Michael Harris ruined my 8th grade year in high school. I went to Lakeshore High School on December 5th, 1975. My Lancers were 12-0. We thought we were destined to win the state championship. And that is until we played Michael Harris and the America's Panthers, who came up with an incredible goal line stand and won that night 14-0. No team from the state of Georgia had scored on the Panthers that entire season. The Lancers got stopped inside the 1-yard line, and the next week, Americus would go on to win their second straight state title with their 28th consecutive win. Mackle was a 1975 Class 2A Lineman of the Year, Parade All-American selection, two-time first-team All-State, as well as the All-Middle Georgia Athlete of the 70s. He averaged 12 tackles per game as a senior. He was rated as the #9 Georgia high school player of all time in the AJC's 2007 rankings. He also set the state record in the 100 dash at 9.6 seconds, which stood for 28 years, and he was the fastest human I've ever seen on a high school football field. Mackle was a 4-year starter at Georgia Tech alongside fellow Hall of Famer Lucius Sanford. As a freshman in '76, racked up 109 tackles, was a recipient of the Clint Castleberry Award given to Tech's Rookie of the Year. Clint Castleberry, elected to the Hall of Fame last year. During his junior season, he helped lead Tech to the 1978 Peach Bowl. He had a brief run in the NFL with the Denver Broncos and Dallas Cowboys before beginning a career at the Life University School of Chiropractic Medicine for more than 3 decades. Michael Harris, welcome to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Who's this next great, where are you? Come on up here. Who's this next great football player we got here?
My grandson, Hezekiah.
Hezekiah, future Georgia Football Hall of Fame inductee. I don't know if you remember that game I was just talking about, but it had an indelible imprint on my life. What was it like playing for your team as you guys posted shutout after shutout after shutout in that 1975 season?
Well, I was fortunate to be playing with players like Linwood Volley, Elvis Stewart, Leonis Berger, Rick Tyson, big guys, strong guys, fast guys that kept I'd be able to run and flow. So when you play with guys like that, you can do a lot of things with football.
And so you can too when you run a 9,600. This guy, he was the proverbial sideline-to-sideline player. How would you describe your career, not only America's, but also Georgia Tech?
At Georgia Tech, I was fortunate to come in there and play along with Lucius Sanford, one of like brothers, we're like brothers, and we always used to say, I'm always behind you. If the flow goes the other way, I'm coming behind you. So I was able to have a guy that can run also that fill the gap just like me.
Michael Harris, inducted into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, and still one of the fastest QBs I've ever seen. So since earlier I got to mention a guy from Lowndes, it's time to mention someone from Valdosta High School. I get the full Wintersville Classic experience tonight. Bruce Bennett started Valdosta High QB, the winningest program in the nation, to a state championship in 1961 under legendary head coach Wright Bazemore. Transferred to safety at Florida, where he became an All-SEC selection as a junior and a senior, second team All-America 1964. First team All-America 1965, and I guess with the world's largest outdoor, whatever we call it these days, coming up, this is where this fact comes in. Bennett's most famous game with the Gators came during the 63 season when he intercepted Georgia quarterback Larry Rakestraw 3 times in Florida's 21-14 win. After college, he goes undrafted, opts for a career in the Canadian Football League, signs with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. In his first season there, the Green Riders won the Grey Cup, which is their version of the Super Bowl. Became a standout safety, earning all CFL honors 6 times in his career from 1966 to 1972. Third on the Green Riders' all-time list in interceptions with 35, and return yards off of those picks with just over 600. Had a career-high 8 interceptions in both the 69 and 71 seasons. August 27, 1972, against the visiting Calgary Stampeders, he recorded the longest interception return in Rough Riders history at 112 yards. And they can do that because the field is a lot longer than the American football field. Earned him a spot in the Florida Athletics Hall of Fame, the Valdosta High Hall of Fame, the Rough Riders Plaza of Honor there in Regina. Coached in high school football after his playing career, returned to Florida where he served in UCF's athletic department for a decade. Representing Bruce tonight is his son, Brad. We welcome the Bennett family to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, your 33rd inductee for tonight is the pride and joy of Columbus, Georgia. Ernie Green is remembered in the NFL as the fullback who opened holes for NFL legend Jim Brown. But Green, a Columbus, Georgia native, produced over 5,000 yards from scrimmage of his own, over 3,200 yards rushing, and over 2,000 yards receiving during his 7-year career with the Cleveland Browns. Green and Brown made up the Browns' starting backfield for their NFL championship team in 1964. Green switched from halfback to fullback after Brown retired and helped block for Leroy Kelly, another NFL Hall of Famer, leading to Green's selection to Pro Bowls in 1966 and 1967. In high school, Green was a star in the Georgia Interscholastic Association and played for the Spencer Green Waves, the GIA's greatest football program. Spencer won 4 GIA championships, in Georgia segregated area, including one during Green's junior year in 1956. Green was a rare 4-year starter for the legendary coach Otis Spencer. Green also was his school's class president and member of the National Honor Society. Green went on to play at the University of Louisville, one of the first traditionally white Southern schools to allow African American players, and led the Cardinals in rushing twice, leading him to be inducted into the Louisville Ring of Honor. After his football days, Green founded Ernie Green Industries, an Ohio company with 15 manufacturing plants in 3 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Columbus, Georgia, Spencer Green waves. Stand to your feet and welcome Ernie Green to the Hall of Fame.
With my hand shaking and my knees, I can't seem to stand with my heart. Ooh, be thankful when you have such love. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. But please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up and the feeling of mine. When I remember that I love best, my heart beats so it scares me to death when she touches. I think I want the chill I got. Her lips are light with a volcano on top. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up.
Congratulations, Ernie. National Honor Society. It's not cool to be a star athlete and have good grades, is it?
Well, where I came from, it does. I had great teachers that demanded a lot. I had a mom that didn't play. So I had my choices to do the work or go home and see mom.
You gotta let everybody know about the expense.
Oh, yes. If you didn't do what you were supposed to do, he would show you how. And first he would get your attention by putting his finger in your face or touching your chin. But he did well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ernie Green to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
So fine, she touched my head on the chin I got. Her lips are light, but the volcano is hot. I'm proud to say this is
For next up on the list, we take a trip to Norcross High School. Jeff Backus returned to his native Norcross High after spending his freshman year at Marist as a standout in football and baseball for the Blue Devils. Jeff was 6'5" as an offensive tackle. Started on the offensive and defensive lines. All first team Gwinnett County as a junior, 74 tackles and 5 sacks on the defensive side of the ball. As a senior, 1995 USA Today All-America honors, AJC first team All-State, Gwinnett County Touchdown Club Lineman of the Year. Backus redshirted at Michigan, made all Big Ten first team or second team all 4 seasons he was in Ann Arbor. Started 49 straight games at left tackle, including the school's 12-0 year in 1997 that crowned them national champs. After college, selected in the first round of the 01 NFL Draft, number 18 overall by the Detroit Lions. And in 2011, he broke Hall of Fame quarterback Dick LeBeau's team record when he made his 172nd consecutive start. Backus ultimately would set a franchise record at 186 consecutive starts at left tackle, and for the offensive line, 186 times to answer the bell. That is big. Spent his entire 12-year career with the Lions, missing just 1 game with a hamstring injury. 2012 on Thanksgiving Day against Houston, returned to start the final 5 games that year before announcing his retirement after the season. Accepting the award on his behalf is his offensive line coach, Coach Green. As he comes up, Jeff sent us some words about this honor tonight.
Good evening. Hope everybody's having a good time. I want to thank SCORE Atlanta, the Georgia High School Association, everybody else that's involved for this honor of being inducted into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. I want to thank Coach Green that's there representing me. Appreciate them doing that. Sorry I couldn't be there. Hope everybody has a great evening. I want to say congrats to all the other Hall of Famers, and thanks again.
Jeff Backus, we welcome him to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. I faked myself out. I'm back to back. Number 35 on the list. As a junior defensive backfield star, Deion Grant helped lead Josie to the program's only state title in a perfect 15-0 season back in 1995, when the Eagles defeated Cedar Shoals 13-6 in the AAA championship under head coach John Starr. As a safety, Deion was named the Class AAA Defensive Player of the Year in 1995, listed as an All-American by Parade and USA Today in 1996. 1996, he was AJC Super 11, two-time first-team AJC All-State. During that championship season, he had over 100 tackles, 8 picks, and 14 touchdowns. Took his talents to the University of Tennessee, first-team All-American 1999. Tied the NCAA league with 9 interceptions, 2 games where he had 2 picks each. Against Florida in 1998, he had a crucial pick to secure the overtime victory, 20-17, helping the Volunteers keep their perfect record. Selected in the second round, 57th overall, in the year 2000 by the Carolina Panthers. Had stints with the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Seahawks, and the Giants before retiring in 2013. So he won a state title in 1995, a national title in 1997, and a Super Bowl in 2011. See, we got the help from the back. They knew where we were going with this. Inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2022. Inducted into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame in 2023. We welcome Deion Grant. Deion looks like he can still play too.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I was in 8th grade, Coach Miles.
Good to see you. Before all this started tonight, let me ask you, I've asked players tonight who've come up here to catch up with me about the impact that their high school coaches have had. When I mentioned Coach Starr and what he instilled in you to bring forward to the man you are today, what comes to mind?
Lead by an example. You know, Coach Starr put a staff together at a real bad high school that they tried to discourage him from coming to the coach. He came and he changed the whole program around and allowed at least 9 guys out of my class that commit to D1 colleges. So, you know, lead by an example. That's what Coach Starr taught me.
And you carry that on today. Congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Ray Goff went to Moultrie High School as a standout player, SEC Offensive Player of the Year, and coach who replaced Vince Dooley as head coach of the Bulldogs. At Moultrie, which is now Colquitt County, Goff helped the Packers to a 19-3 record as the starting quarterback, passed for 1,571 yards for the 72 Moultrie team that won the state's strongest region, reached the semifinals of the AAA playoffs, and finished 11-1. Ray Goff was also the first player from Moultrie to pass for more than 300 yards, and y'all all thought he was a running quarterback. He was an outstanding baseball pitcher who once threw a 19-inning shutout in a 1-0 victory in which he had the winning hit. He continued his football career at Georgia, led the Bulldogs to an SEC title and the Sugar Bowl in '76. He finished 7th in the Heisman Trophy voting. Was an assistant at South Carolina, returned to Georgia back in 1981, became head coach in 1989, served for 7 seasons. He's a member of the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame and is now a part owner of Zaxby's franchises and lives in Bishop, Georgia, in Oconee County. Ray Goff. I just want to say congratulations, Jordan. Thank you, buddy. Y'all thought he was a running quarterback. Man could pass. Now you talk about a runner. Eddie Lee Ivory from Thompson High School. Started as running back and safety for Thompson, ran for over 1,700 yards, averaging more than 10 yards a carry as a senior. First team All-State, one of the state's very top recruits. Eddie Lee went on to play at Georgia Tech, became the school's all-time leading rusher with over 3,500 and finished 8th in the Heisman Trophy voting in '78. But listen to this. The highlight of his season, he ran for 356 yards on a snowy day in Colorado to beat the Air Force. 356 yards. Runs of 80, 73, and 57 yards for touchdowns. Went to the Packers, played 8 seasons, led the Packers in rushing, went back to Georgia Tech, got his degree. Eddie Lee has worked in the Tech athletic department and has helped coach at Thompson in his retirement. Inducted into the Georgia Tech Sports Hall of Fame in '83 and the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2020. Now Eddie Lee Ivory is a member of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
How we go?
We own about 25 Wilson Saints and Wilson Baptist. So we've got a couple of schools. We got about 7 or 8 over here in the pretty much everywhere. If you want to talk about it, I'll give you a phone number.
Yeah.
706. 706-215.
Bring them all up here.
706-215.
Come on, guys.
5813.
Here so everybody can see you. All right, Eddie Lee, how you doing? Good to see you. Tell me who we got.
All right, we got my 3 grandsons. I got Marcia from Tampa, Florida, from my daughter. And then I got my 2 grandsons, Elder, and this is Eddie Lee Ivory the third. Eddie Lee Ivory Jr. is out there with his family. And so they're both from Atlanta.
What's it like to go back and help Thompson play football, help other kids do what you did?
Well, I think it's truly a blessing for me to get the opportunity to go back and kind of try to share my experience and my strength and my hope to those kids to let them know that if they too go out and use the talent that God has blessed them with, they too can also experience some of the things that I've been able to experience that this game has given me the chance to do.
You gave the game a lot too. Hey, thanks for bringing the grandkids up here. Good to see you guys. The man had 356 yards against the Air Force. Wow.
I remember when Eddie Lee set that record against the Air Force, listening to Al Serraldo call that game. It was an icy day. Back then, the games were not always on TV, listening to the radio. That was some good times. Pat Swilling starred at Stevens County High School, just like his cousin Pat, who was inducted earlier tonight, was the lone consensus All-American on Georgia Tech's 1990 National Championship team. Ken was a first-team All-State defensive back and running back in the Wishbone offense in 1987. Remember the Wishbone? They're going to bring it back in a couple of years and call it a new offense. His most memorable moment, Swilling caught a 40-yard Hail Mary pass, out-jumping 4 defenders as time expired to secure a 13-10 victory over Villa Rica in the Class AAA quarterfinals, with his team in the semifinals for the first time in 28 years. Ken went on to become a 4-year starter, 2-time All-ACC pick, and 1990 All-American at Georgia Tech. He was nicknamed Captain America. The great Boss Ross, Georgia Tech's coach Bobby Ross, once said, if you were to draw a picture of a football player in a uniform, you'd draw Ken Swilling. Ken was a 7th-round pick, played 1 season with the Cleveland Browns. He was inducted into the Georgia Tech Sports Hall of Fame in 2001, was named to the ACC's 50th anniversary team in 2003. He was also honored as an ACC legend at the ACC Championship game in 2012. His son Joshua here representing us tonight. Ken could not be with us, but he did send us a video message.
First, I'd like to apologize for not being here tonight to receive this award in person, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, I'm not able to attend tonight, but I've been represented well by my son Joshua and my cousin Nikki. And I am just grateful that they were able to attend. I'm also just thankful for the GHSA selecting me to be a part of this great 2023 Hall of Fame inductee class. It has truly been a privilege and an honor to be thought of in this fashion. I'm just so grateful that I was able to hear my name ring out just one more time. And I'm just so glad that you all, the committee chose me and chose to honor me in this fashion. I'm just grateful. I'd like to take a moment just to say thank you to my mom and my dad for all they've done for me. Mr. Jerry and Judy Swilling, they spent a lot of gas getting me to practice and making sure that I was where I needed to be on time. And I'm just thankful for them. Thank you for everything they poured into me over the years. I'd also like to thank my high school football coach, Coach Rodney Walker, who saw me playing baseball on our baseball field at Stevens County High, walked up to me and demanded that I get to the football field. And I'm just thankful. He saw something in me at the time that I did not see, and because he did, I'm here today, and I'm just thankful for Coach Walker. Thank you, Coach Walker. I appreciate you. I'd also like to thank my high school counselor, Ms. Daphne Paxson, for all the things that she poured into me, for all the tutoring. She kept pushing me, got me ready for college. I did not anticipate going to Georgia Tech the way I did, but if it had not been for her, I might not have made it at Georgia Tech. I might not have made it to Georgia Tech. So I'm just so grateful for her pouring into me, and I want to say thank you for her. I'd also like to say thank you to my cousin Pat. My cousin Pat Swilling was an inductee tonight, and he has been a trailblazer for our city in Tacoma, Georgia, and the Stevens County area. And I remember being a kid looking up to him, going to see him play on Friday nights, and it inspired me to want to play on Friday nights. So Pat, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I'd also like to thank our community, the Stevens County community, for all the support, all the love they've given us over the years. They They've always, anytime we've been involved in anything, they've always stepped up and given their best. And I'll just say thank you. I say thank you to all the coaches and all my teammates and everybody that helped me along the way. I always say that nobody does it alone. And I'm just so thankful for all my teammates growing up, everybody I played with, whether we were playing in the yard or playing in organized sports. I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to play alongside of you. And this award is not just for me, but it's for my whole community, it's for my whole family. I'm just so thankful that I'm here today and I'm alive to see this come to pass. And I'm just grateful. Again, I say thank you to the GHSA for thinking of me in this way. Thank you for showing us some love, and go Indians.
Parkview High School's John Stinchcomb is the 39th inductee tonight. Stinchcomb started as an offensive tackle at Parkview High School. He was the 1997 Parade and USA Today All-American, an AJC Super 11 pick, and the Atlanta Touchdown Club's Lineman of the Year during Parkview's Class 4A championship season. He was a 4-year starter and the Gwinnett County Touchdown Club's Offensive Lineman of the Year as a sophomore, junior, and senior. At UGA, Stinchcomb was a 3-time Academic All-American and a 4-time Academic All-SEC selection. In 2002, he also earned the National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete Award, joining his brother Matt, who was honored in 1998. On the field, Stinchcomb was a 2-time All-SEC selection and a member of the All-SEC freshman team. He helped pave the way for the Bulldogs offense in 2002 that led the SEC in scoring with 32 points, 0.6 points per game, and won the SEC championship. The New Orleans Saints drafted Stinchcomb in the second round of the 2003 NFL draft. He took over the starting right tackle position for the Saints in 2006 and started 86 consecutive games. Stinchcomb was selected to the Pro Bowls in 2009 and won a Super Bowl with the Saints that same season. He retired from the NFL in 2011. Today, he is the chairman of the board for the Next Generation organization, which promotes development of character building and chaplaincy programs in local schools. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hall of Fame, John Stinchcomb. Congratulations, John. You excelled at every level, high school, college, and professional. But as an offensive lineman, speaking to the young guys that don't necessarily get the attention that you were able to get, talk about obviously how you were able to overcome that, and what can you speak something futuristic into these young linemen that don't understand that they are a vital part, even though they don't get their names in the paper quite as often.
Well, as Adam Meadows mentioned earlier, I think some of us are recognized more than others, and if you refer to that one-pager, among a lot of great players, only one of us had their picture shown twice. So I was a misprint there. Don't worry about it. As an offensive lineman, we'll take whatever we can get. But whether I'm talking to my kids, Mason and Emily Gray, or to high school kids, when I get the opportunity, just to be a part of something bigger than yourself. It's an honor, and it's something that we all strive for. It's an environment that, as a football player, and we recognize so many great ones here tonight,
it's important for us to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And when you recognize that, obviously it's a part of football, but it's a part of life. It's one of those characteristics and traits that you can learn from football, but it applies to everything that you do. Lastly, the accomplishments of your big brother, what do they mean to you? Nothing. He's one of those guys. I appreciate him being here tonight for me. He's not here, he's in South Carolina. But, to have a guy in front of you that you see how he does things, that he did things the right way, we're so fortunate to have great role models. And for me to be able to watch the way he did things, not only in high school, but at Georgia when he got drafted in the NFL, it really showed me how to go about life. And football was a part of that. But the man he is, and it certainly impacted the man that I am today and how I conducted myself to life. Congratulations, John Stitchcomb. You're going into the Georgia High School Football Sports Hall of Fame.
I remember John's mom used to call me all the time whenever he played at Park, and whenever we did anything on television with Parkview, the Georgia Bulldogs, on a VHS copy. You got it too. Congratulations. All right, the 40th and final, but we saved the best for the last. That's Charles Grant, two-way star at Miller County. Tied Herschel Walker's state record 45 rushing touchdowns in 1997, scored 101 touchdowns over a 3-year career. As a junior in 1996, he was the Class A Defensive Player of the Year and the overall State Player of the Year. Charles rushed for 2,530 yards, had 102 tackles as a senior for his 12-1 team that averaged 49.5 points per game. And do I have to tell you that he was also his senior year the Class A Player of the Year? You probably figured that out. After a year at Hargrave Military, Grant moved on to Georgia. He started across 3 seasons as a linebacker, defensive end, and played some fullback too. Charles finished his collegiate career with 136 tackles, 27 TFL, and 15 sacks. The New Orleans Saints took Grant with the 25th overall pick in the 2002 NFL Draft, or 7 picks after the Atlanta Falcons once again inexplicably passed on a Georgia Bulldog star. You see, they're still doing it today. Just look at the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, he played 8 NFL seasons with the Saints and recorded 47 sacks, 66 TFL. In his final NFL season, Grant was a member of the Saints' 2009 season Super Bowl championship team. Welcome, Charles Grant. Congratulations. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Come on up here, introduce your friends.
Well, in life, you have guys. I didn't have a father in my life. My mama was the best role model I knew, and she stood by me and gave me everything she had, and I appreciate her for that. I thank all my friends that's here in attendance, that stayed late. This class, I appreciate you. It's a guy, Dr. Keo Spikes, I appreciate you for being a great role model through this journey when I first met you. These two men right here, though, I want to give them their flowers while they still living.
I think he meant that as a compliment.
Coach Allen Ingram has done an outstanding job with a lot of kids in our community. I don't think he get the blessing that he deserves. And I want to tell you tonight, from me to you, and I love you, and I thank you for teaching me how to walk as a man and always move forward in life no matter what the situation is. And I just want to tell you I love you and I appreciate you. Coach Tim, I grew up in a small community. Everybody that come up with these little country guys say it's a village. It take a village to raise somebody. I met Coach Tim Martin, came from Kansas. My senior year, a lot of people don't know this, Coach Tim would wake me up at 5:50 in the morning and make me run 3 miles every day my senior year in high school. My mom, we didn't have no car. Coach Tim taught me how to drive. Coach Tim taught me how to walk, talk like a man, how to stand for family and principles and morals. And tonight, while you still here, Coach, I want to give both of you your roses. Tell you I love you. Welcome to the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. You and Coach G, because without y'all two, it wouldn't be no me, and I love y'all. Thank you, class.
I told you it was worth the wait. Charles Grant, the last inductee, the first in our hearts here at the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame.
All right, just a couple of minutes left. I want to thank everybody. John Nelson, Matt Stewart, DJ Jones, Brandon Adams, Sam Crenshaw, give them a hand. Also have my Score Atlanta staff, Jordan Dubroff, Daniel Smith, Damon Green, Elizabeth Cameron, Hayden Gilbert, Najee Wilkins, Craig Sager, Seth Ellerby, and 2 people that put so much attention to this, Laura Grieve, and of course, Graham Davis. Everybody knows Graham Davis. We love you. I also would like to thank the staff here at the College Football Hall of Fame, our executive producer, Roddy White, and my son, Chase Rosenberg, who despite it all, he has shoulder reconstruction surgery. He arranged all the music. And finally, I want to thank my family and wife, Beth, who are all here tonight. Love you, Beth, for letting me come in with these ideas, and you just followed along. You know what, guys? Alabama won, and I'm going to enjoy this cigar. Good night.